Laurent,
Hello? Mic
where you
check one
at?
two 1 2.
Where you at, mate? Oh, that's right. You guys aren't in the title race, so you know,
Well,
I,
technically, CJ, they're in the FIFA Club World Cup race. They're sitting in the Champions League table. They're the big fish in the pond.
mm, yeah, biggest club in London is Chelsea, apparently.
Oh, the biggest cheaters in London, dare I
Mm,
say.
mm. Listen, Laurent, we won't, I don't want to make you catch too much strays, while you're not even here to defend yourself. So, but it was only right we had to start off acknowledging you, because for those watching, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Gunner's Corner. It's me and Murdad today, and we're just doing something different, something fun ahead of the run-in. And for those who are sitting at the table of the run-in, which there are only two clubs, Arsenal and Man City, um, we thought we'd sit down and we'd, go over the remaining fixtures and help put a little bit of fun and stress relief to the run-in because all Arsenal fans and City fans, I'm sure, are probably a little bit anxious about the run-in, a little bit nervous. Definitely Arsenal fans, nervous and anxious about what's to come. So we thought we would just kind of go through the games and predict the remaining Premier League games. And see how it'll look at the end based on our predictions, and we'll see. We'll circle back to this once the end of the season comes and see who was right and who's more accurate. So me and Murdad are gonna predict the games, and yeah, and we'll take it from there. But make sure you like and subscribe, as we always say. Like, subscribe, hype the video. That's a new thing these days, so make sure you're doing that for us. Hit that notification bell, as Murdad always says as well, because it really does help us out. And we're putting out content weekly, daily for you guys. So that's what we're doing here. But yeah, Murdad, man, everything's good, all good.
Yeah, man. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. We're at 84. So if you got, I know we're getting viewers. We're getting our viewership up there. A lot of you aren't subscribers. It really does help us. It really does help get our content out there. And honestly, the more subscribers we get, the more fan engagement we get, the better content that we can put out there. So
Absolutely.
um, I, it's not selfish. It's we want to get more content out to people. I think what we do is fun. I think we have a lot of banter. And like I said in the last pod, HR spoke to us. We heard you loud and clear. I will not banter Laurent as much. I will keep it 100. I'll bring it down from 150. But no, honestly, everything's good, man. I think um, the crisis mode that I had is settled a little bit.
Mm,
It does help that every time I watch an Arsenal game, if it's good or bad, I can go and hug my little twins and hug them both, kiss them both, and just kind of realize that the world doesn't revolve around footy. But again, it's we do this because we love it, right? Like, um, I'm tired of the banter. I'm tired of all the nonsense that we hear and all the stuff that we go on social media and see. Like, we're keeping the receipts, keeping the receipts. Because there's a lot of fan bases that are speaking out that really need to mind their own business, aka Spurs, Chelsea, United, like even Liverpool. So City fans, you're allowed until the 115 verdict comes out. You're allowed, but yeah, no, sorry, I'm good. I'm good, man. Blessed. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to give my wild predictions, and I think I'm gonna throw a couple curveballs in there that you don't see coming.
mm, mm. Jeez, man. Well, you're my source of optimism for the last few years. You know that we've been connecting and talking about the Arsenal. You've always been that source of optimism for me, even when I've been, a little bit hesitant or pessimistic or nervous about what's to come. You're always that one that puts it back into perspective and giving me that little bit of hope. So, let's see, man. I just want to say before we get going too, just in terms of your preseason predictions and your optimism, it's crazy, man. Like, despite all the other outside noise and factors about how Arsenal have played this season, how, the Haram ball, Arteta in, Arteta out, the debates and the divides, I've never known a club to be in this position on May 1st, 2026, in the semifinals of the Champions League, with a very good chance of going to the finals of the Champions League and top of the table in the Premier League in May. And we still have so much like discourse around us in a negative way. You know what I mean? Whether it's from our own
Hmm.
fans, whether it's from the media, definitely from the media, from the pundits, from rival fans. like, you know what I mean? The way we carry on is like you would think that we are still in our banter era, the way that there's still so much divide and negative energy and you know criticism around the club, But if you had asked us, to your point, you always say this when Arteta first came in. If you had asked us like 6, 7 years ago, right? Would we have taken a position where we're semifinals of the Champions League in May, top of the league in May, like in the two priority competitions? Like, yes, we got knocked out of the domestic cups, but let's be honest, what everyone in world football wants to win, right, is the Premier League and the Champions League. So if you had asked us if would we take this position if offered to us, like 110%, that's dreamland, right? How many times did me and you look years and years ago where we're looking from that glass ceiling and we're watching Liverpool and Man City in a title race in May, or we're watching, I don't know, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich in a Champions League semifinal. We're like, ah, like what we would do to be there, to be in the conversation. And now we're here. Now we're in the room. You know what I mean? And I feel like despite how negative we
Hmm.
may be playing and despite questions around the manager, like sometimes I took it in the other day and I was like, yo, we just need to sit back and appreciate where we're at right now, man, because we've loved to be like some people's seasons ended in January, right? Cough, cough, Man United fans. You know what I mean? Like your season ended months ago. You had nothing to look forward to for the last couple of months. Meanwhile, here we are going down to the wire, enjoying, the end of our season because we're still involved
Hmm.
in the important competitions, man. So I just wanted to say that, just put a little bit of perspective because things have been kind of topsy-turvy so far this season, a bit of a roller coaster as we expected. But yeah, man, I'm feeling kind of positive right now, It's a Friday, we're in a good mood.
Yeah, and like on that, before we get into the actual like video, there was a stat that I saw when I was scrolling through Instagram this morning when I was feeding the kids, just sleep deprived, and I was like scrolling through, I was like, oh, this is an interesting stat. So we all know Pep Guardiola has been at Man City for 10 years, right? Yes, he's won the Champions League, but in his 10 years there, he's been in the semifinals. He's been in the semis twice and he's won it once. Mikel Arteta, in 6 years, has been in back-to-back semifinals. Now, Haram ball aside, all that stuff aside, um, like we also have to play to the level of our opponents, right? If all of our opponents are dropping in and they're playing a low block, like it has to be slower tempo, and our game style isn't built on like what PSG and Bayern have. We don't have these attacking players, right? Like we also kind of have to take a step back and look at it. Yes, of course. Would you and I both love that if Arsenal play like PSG and Bayern? Yeah, of course. But we also don't play in a league that allows us to do that week in and week out. We have to grind out games. Bayern doesn't have to do that. Maybe against Dortmund, maybe occasionally against Stuttgart, maybe occasionally against some other teams that come up against like Leverkusen. PSG definitely not,
Mm,
right? In Spain, yeah, between the two Madrid teams, Barcelona, sometimes Sevilla, Valencia, or someone else comes up, but like in the Premier League, you can argue like it's proven even a team that just spent 500 million is struggling against the lower table teams. Even Man City, the great Man City, have struggled, right?
mm,
So I think that's a perspective that other fan bases don't really want to give us. Whether, obviously they want the banter, they want to see us struggle, they want us to be the bottlers, but at the end of the day, like there is perspective. There's a reason why we're still at the top of the table. There's a reason why we still haven't lost in the Champions League. We're still perfect in Champions League. And I don't think anyone's talking about it. We still have not lost in the Champions League.
it's true.
Like whatever you want to say, Harambal this, like we still have not lost in the Champions League, and we've beaten some big clubs, right? So it still doesn't change the fact that what I said a few weeks ago on the pod, that if Arteta does the double and this is the game style that he wants to play, I would be very open to him leaving. Because I think for us to take the next step and turn this into, multi-year success, he needs to change. Now, if he stays and we sign a Julian Alvarez, which is going to be a different episode that CJ and I will likely get into, and we sign more forward-thinking attackers, then sure. But if we're going to do the same thing, rinse and repeat, that's insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's worked so far. We're here, but as CJ always says, get over the line. Once you get over the line and we get that monkey off our back, I want to see us kick on. Now, if Arteta can do that, great, stay. But if you're not ready to do that, you're not ready to kick on and develop and actually rest your players and learn from Pep Guardiola that sometimes you have to rest a Bukayo Saka. Sometimes you just have to. You can't play him in the full 90,
Mm.
right? When it's November, you can't play him. Why? Because you're thinking about April. Can't run these players into the ground. So I'm sorry, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent,
No, it's fine.
um, but yeah, I think there's I think the media does play a big part in it, and I think like I don't want to give her any clout, but like you see on Talk Sports, like Abby Summers and
Yeah.
all these people on like AFTV and like DR Sports, like all these fans that just want to have like that clickbait and they have a platform. Um, like I get what you're saying. I understand why you're making these outrageous comments, but if you really have a one-on-one conversation with them, they'll say that Arsenal are the best team, hands down. We are the best team. No one can debate that. Man City have bought the title race again. Let me say that for the people in the back. Man City have bought into the title race again. What do I mean? Antoine Semenyo, Mark Gahey. What were they struggling with prior to the January transfer window? Not being able to score enough goals because Phil Foden was struggling and didn't have any offense from Erling Haaland relative to what Erling Haaland typically is, and they had trouble in the back. They fixed both of those with 100 mil. Now you tell me what other club is going to spend 100 mil in the January transfer window like it's nothing. Like you have to put it into perspective a little bit, right? So, and we still haven't had how many times have we played our full healthy roster?
Yeah.
Once, twice. So credit where credit's due. And I think if Arteta does win the Premier League, I think he's the manager of the year. I think Declan Rice, if we win, I think him or David Raya should be the PFA Player of the Year because David Raya, uh, like no, you can't like I don't even know what words to put. Um, and speaking on the Ballon d'Or, like one of them's got to win we got to win the Champions League for any of the Arsenal players to be in discussion for the Ballon
Yeah.
d'Or for me. Right. Sorry, I went on a tangent. I didn't mean to
No,
derail.
no, man, you're good. A lot
Um,
of those are some fighting words, and letting
but
people know that we're still here, we're not backing down despite anything that any rivals or negative energy or fans and whoever pundit that want to put us down. The Arsenal's still here, still standing. So no, I like it, man. Again, we're people listening, right? We're doing this obviously less than 24 hours before Arsenal's match. So by the time of this comes out, you'll be listening to this, and maybe you'll be listening to this, once you've found out the result of tomorrow's game versus Fulham. So this can all go tits up for us, right? We're both going to be here predicting the game. And that's the beauty of football, right? Tomorrow this can go tits up for us, and me and Murdoch can be sitting here in a bad mood, saying the title race is over after a loss to Fulham or something. But that's the beauty of football. That's how we are. We're fans. We have emotions. We react. It is what it is. But listen, man, I'm confident ahead of that game, and I'm sure you are as well. So we'll get into it, right? We're gonna start predicting the matches, and we'll start with the Arsenal fixtures. Um, do you want to keep tally of the points accumulation, or I guess we'll put
yeah,
it in our
yeah,
in our in our in our notes
yeah.
here.
I'll keep tally.
Yeah, you're usually good at the accounting logistics, keeping tallies in that.
So Katoa.
Oh man,
Oh, that's such a nerd moment.
no,
Oh my
literally, me and
God.
Laurent were like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Oh,
Um,
fuck.
but yeah, so okay, so are we gonna do score prediction as well, or just leave it
I
at the
I would say let's do score prediction because I think it may come down to a goal differential.
okay?
So I would love to do score predictions because obviously in the main pod we do like wins or loss.
Yeah,
But I think the score prediction is going to come in handy because right now the goal differential is going to be
yep,
we're up 38 and they're at 37.
sure. So how about this for me? You can give the score prediction like to a T if that's how you want to do it. For me,
Okay.
I'm not sure per se in terms of the score prediction, so I'll just do like margins, right? In turn to help keep
Okay.
consistent for goal difference. So I'll say Arsenal win by one or win by two,
Okay.
City win like something like that. Whereas if
Okay.
you're confident of score prediction, you can just give it out right, like say 2-1
Sure.
or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
And also for those who are following our predictions leaderboard and for Laurent, if you're listening, um, do not. hold this to gospel for us. Like when we're predicting these games, right? This is not gospel. We can change our mind when the game is coming for the sake of our prediction series when that, the games are coming up for whatever match week we do the recordings. Yes, we can change our mind. This is a fun activity that me and Murdad are doing now. So yes, we will be subject to changing our mind depending on certain circumstances and context, like we always talk about, right? Whether injuries, upcoming injuries, fatigue, and things like that. So yeah,
That's for Laurent. That
that's
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 for
for
that's
Laurent.
that's definitely for Laurent because he's gonna pull up the receipts. That's why I don't message in our group chat anymore because I don't want to have a reaction and all of a sudden it's being used in the wrong context.
All right. So yeah, let's get into it, man.
Okay.
Excited. So we'll run through the Arsenal fixtures first. So Arsenal Fulham, less than 24 hours away at this moment in time of recording. I mean, we said it yesterday as well in our recording. Go check out episode 103 if you guys haven't already. But I got an Arsenal win. Yeah, that one is pretty straightforward for me. In terms
What's
of
your
margin,
margin?
I think we're gonna win by one tomorrow. I don't know if it's gonna be 1-0, 2-1, shit, 3-2. Probably not a 3-2, but I think we win by one. So I think we win and we win by one.
Okay. I'll actually do. I'll save my score. Like I'll save my exact score prediction, but also keep it because it makes it a little bit easier to track.
Okay.
I think we win by a 2 goal margin. I think it's either going to be 3-1 or 2-1. Sorry, 2-0. I'm going to go +2. I think it's going to be a 2-0. I don't think we concede to Fulham. They haven't scored away from home since like early March, and I
Hmm.
think coming off that game, um, I think Arteta is going to get the boys up for it. So yeah, I think we're going to win 2-0.
Okay. Um, Next we got okay, well, so next week, I mean, obviously we have the semifinals before our next Premier League fixture. I mean, again, we are pretty much doing this based on Premier League games, but we can just quickly touch on that. I mean, I think first of all, I think we will progress to the final, but I
Hmm.
think that semifinal will take a lot out of us. And I'm hoping, right? Again, a lot of these things, here's the beauty about this while we're predicting this. Like a lot of these things are dependent on injury and suspension and things like that too, right? So,
Hmm.
I mean, assuming everybody comes through unscathed in that semifinal, you know, again, knock on wood and all that, yeah, I think I expect us to progress to the final. However, I think that um, it'll take a lot out of the boys in a fatigue standpoint, but also like I touched on yesterday in the podcast, the mental boost it'll give the team, I think that adrenaline will help kick us on and spur us on for the rest of the season, right? Whereas let's say we were a worst case scenario, let's say we were to lose. Um, what
Or
kind of
this
a
guy doesn't play in the second leg, the guy behind me.
yeah, yeah, right? What kind of effect does that have on the rest of our Premier League campaign? Get knocked out of the semifinals at home, then you go into West Ham away, right? That changes the whole dynamic of this. So that's why we're doing this video as well, right? We're touching on all scenarios where we're bringing up all kinds of because every scenario is possible, right? As much as we're positive and as much as we think, from an optimistic standpoint, we can do this and how we're going to do it. Like you have to talk about the devil's advocate in the room or the reverse scenarios. Like, what if we get knocked out of the semifinals next week, right? And then you have West Ham away in the Premier League, and all of a sudden that game looks a lot bigger than it once did. You know what I mean? So, listen, I think, like I said, we will get through to the finals of the Champions League. And then we have West Ham away. So predicting that West Ham away game, we'll have that extra bit of day of rest because that game is on a Sunday as opposed to a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, the West
Yep.
Ham game,
Yep.
May
Yeah,
10th.
4 full days.
Yeah. So that's helpful. And then although we are traveling, we are in London still, so it's not crazy travel.
Yep.
Now, I said this to you before a couple weeks ago. I said I think this is the game in the Premier League where we might drop points. And I think I'm going to stand on that. And I think this is the one out of the four. Yeah, I'm calling a draw for this one.
So 0, eh?
Or you
Goal
can you can
differential.
put you can put 1 point. Oh, so for
Yeah, goal
differential,
differential would be 0 because it'd be 1-1 or 0-0. Because
okay,
either way, it wouldn't make a difference in the overall tally.
right. So right now my
Um,
overall tally based on the two games is four
+1.
points.
Yeah, yeah, 4 points
Four
and then
points, yeah,
+1 goal differential.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So that's what I got for West
yeah,
Ham. What do you got? What are you thinking? Talk to me about this one.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I agree. I think this is the slip.
Really, I've talked you into this one, eh? Because I remember before you were
No,
confident about this one.
yeah, I think more so because I'm predicting the semifinals. I think we're gonna go through, but I think we're gonna go through in extra time. I think Diego Simeone is going to come in, park the bus, make it an ugly game. It's going to be 0-0. We're going to go into extra time.
Hmm.
And I think I wouldn't even be shocked if it's penalties. And I
Hmm.
think we go through because I don't think Julian Alvarez is going to play. And I think it's going to emotionally
Really?
take a lot out of us. Yeah, I don't think Alvarez is playing. I don't think
Hmm.
he's playing. Um, and West Ham, the fact that they're fighting for their lives, like again, context matters. Exactly what you said a few minutes ago. If Spurs lose this weekend, West Ham going into this game may mean nothing. If they win this weekend and Spurs lose, this game means nothing for them because pretty much seal the deal. Spurs are going down.
Hmm.
If Spurs get a result this week and West Ham don't get a result, right? Spurs are playing Villa, West Ham are playing Brentford. There's a possibility that both teams don't get a result, right? They're both away from home.
Hmm.
So it really depends on the context because then we play West Ham on Sunday. Spurs play Leeds on Monday at home. Spurs have injuries up the yin yang. Like there's still so much context and so much movement. But if I'm predicting as of today, I think this is the slip, and I think this would
Wow.
be I think unfortunately this would be like a 1-1.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of result I can see.
Yeah.
1-1. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Sadly, like I don't want to be negative, but like
No, man,
I'm
just
just
be
trying to.
realistic, man. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
trying to be realistic, especially with if we're playing like a long game and like is Declan Rice going to be like it depends, right? Like if this game was Burnley at home and then
mm,
it was West Ham, 100% we're beating Burnley at home.
hmm.
Like we're going to smash Burnley.
Mm.
But West Ham away, like that's the London stadium's going to be bumping and like we keep saying that Laurent doesn't want to listen. London derbies count. Like these are still technically this is two back-to-back London derbies, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Like we're not talking about it. Even the last game of the season, technically it's a
London.
London derby
Yeah.
because Selhurst is in London,
Yeah.
right? We're not thinking about it like oh it's not Chelsea or it's not Spurs, but these are still London derbies. Fulham have more of a history than Chelsea.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real, right? So, anyways, that's just for Laurent. I just gotta throw some shade.
Listen, and again, it's okay to be like realistic, right? Again, it's not about being positive or negative. Like I want you to be honest about your feelings and your thoughts on it, and I'm glad you are because listen, once upon a time, a couple weeks ago, I remember you saying that you thought we were going to go 5 for 5, like, get all 5 wins. So I'm, you know, coming down to earth a little bit. It's nice to see putting things into a little bit of perspective. I mean, if you still thought we were going to go 5 for 5, fair enough. But I'm just glad I'm not the only one that was coming on here and thinking that we are going to drop points somewhere. But yeah, this for me, I think will be the game, bro. If we get the 3 points, then obviously I'm over the moon, right? But I can see a little bit of a slip up here.
Yep.
Um,
Um,
yeah.
Burnley, what's your
Geez,
prediction?
yeah. I mean, do we even need to talk? At this point, it's just a matter of how many. Maybe that's me being ignorant, but this is the one game out of the four that we have left that I'm extremely confident about. Like, brother, if you don't get 3 points at home to Burnley, delete the club, like Control Alt Delete, factory reset button. Like, we'll just go again and we'll turn this into an NBA channel. I will go into hiding. If you cannot beat Burnley at home in a title race, so listen, 3 points, that's the first thing. So we are going to get a win. So we're going to get the 3 points. So you can have
Hey,
three
hold on,
points.
hold on, hold on. Michael Jackson is at the helm.
Yeah, true.
Michael Jackson playing Thriller.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah, our players might get a little bit
Oh
starstruck, and you never know.
shit.
So,
Oh shit.
um,
Okay. 3 points. How many goals?
rest in peace, MJ. By the way, not to take the piss
Man, rest
out
in
of out
peace,
of the legend,
legend.
but um, yeah, I know. This may surprise you because I don't think it's going to be as big of a margin as you maybe thought I was. Like, a lot of people are thinking at this point it's a matter of how many, but for me, I think it's going to be a 2 goal margin only. I don't know if
Okay.
that's we've also been struggling to score goals recently. Apparently we haven't scored 2+ goals in a game since I think Everton in the Premier League, which was
Yep.
March.
Yep.
So in all, I think that's all comps, by the way. I don't think we scored
hmm
more than 1 goal since March in a game. That's nuts. So yeah, I know.
And what's also nuts is that we're still atop the Premier League, and
Yeah,
we're still invincible in the Champions League.
yeah. So yeah, but yeah, this one I think. a lot of people, again, it's maybe one of those ones where you have to come down to earth and have a little bit of reality check for a bit. I don't think it's going to be that 5-0, 4-0, apparently, that a lot of fans might think it's going to be. I think we only win by a 2-goal margin. So I'm saying either a 2-0 or a 3-1,
Yeah,
which
I
is
got
fine.
three.
Yeah.
I got +3. I think it's going to be 3-0. I don't think Burnley score. I think we take care of business.
Yeah.
Palace away, last game of the season.
Palace away.
They might be contending with a Conference League final.
So this is one thing I wanted to check, right? It was that we need to confirm that when Palace's Conference League final would be. And I was hearing things about it today. I think it is after
May
this game.
27th.
Okay, so
Yep, it's
it's
3 days
after.
after.
So assuming Palace get to the final, which they're likely to, right? Because I think they won their first leg,
Yep,
in the first semifinal, like 3-1, I think it was against Shakhtar.
yep, and they're going home next game,
So
May
so they
7th.
should be in the final, man, Palace of the Conference League. So therefore, sorry guys, for those watching, I'm looking up. I just have the Burnley Leeds game on in the background. I have particular interest in this for FPL reasons. But anyways, um, yeah, Palace away, last game of the season. Once upon a time, I was really nervous about this one, because Palace is a good side under Glasner. Away from home, Palace's last game at home in the Premier League, especially before. I think it's going to be Glasner's last game ever at Selhurst as a Palace manager because Glasner is leaving at the end of the season, right? That is
Yep,
confirmed, right? Glasner's
yep,
leaving.
yep.
So once upon a time, I was a little bit more nervous about this game than I initially maybe should have been. My nerves have since feared, and it's because of the fact that I think that they are going to go to the Conference League final, and therefore I think that they're going to rest a whole bunch of players, right? Palace in a Conference League final, their chance for a European trophy, they're 100% going to rest players for that, right? That's historic for them. So all that to say, I think that we will get the 3 points in this one. I think just what makes this even more interesting is it seems like, which is even more annoying for me from a personal standpoint, it seems like the title race is going to go to the final day. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know, maybe you think different based on the tallies, but it seems like the title race is going to go to the final day. And again, that annoys me from a personal level because I'm just trying to go to a London parade, right? So I can't book any tickets in unless I know we won the league or not. So I'm gonna have to wait till friggin' end of the season to find out if I'm going to London or not. But anyways, um, yeah. So because I think it may go down to the final day, regardless of whether Palace has something to play for or not, it's just one of those ones for us psychologically where it's like, we're away from home, one eye on the city result. Everyone's going to be checking their phones, fans, the coaching staff will be talking on the sideline. What's the score in the city game? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just going to be the worst day for me, for everyone involved. It's going to be such, bro, I'm dreading it. But so away from home, like, again, it's going to be a little bit tough for us knowing that, final day of the season away from home, like just go there and win. And then what's the score in the city game? Like, but I think we will win. And I think that's also going to be by a 1-goal margin.
Okay,
That's my explanations for you people.
okay. So I guess you have a 1 goal, 2 goal. You have a +4 for the run-in.
So I'm giving us an additional 4 in goal difference. Okay.
Yeah,
And
+4
I'm basically giving us,
goal
I say
differential.
we win 3 out of the next 4, which gives how many
10
points is
points.
10 points. Okay.
Yeah, 10 points. Um, so same thing with me. I think it's going to be a 1 goal margin as well, sadly. Um, and I think we get the 3 points. So same, both of us have the same points tally.
Hmm.
But I think my goal margin is higher. So one, that's 4, that's 6. I have a +6.
And I have +4.
Yeah, yeah, +4. Because I had
All right. You had
plus
Fulham by 2, and then you
yeah,
had
Fulham by
Burnley
2
by
and then
3.
Burnley
Okay.
+3. Yeah. So I think so end of the season it looks we're both predicting 83 points for us.
Hmm.
You're predicting 42 goal differential.
Hmm.
And I'm predicting 44 goal differential. Yikes.
Jeez. No,
Um
that's tight, man. That's tight. Listen, let's get into the city results now, man. Let's do this.
City. Everton away this Monday.
Ah, gosh. I often like to think that I make predictions with my head over my heart, but this one is going to be a strictly a heart's prediction because I'm going to try and put that energy out there, and I'm going to say Man City draw Everton away.
No.
I'm going to do it.
Yo, there's no way. Is hold on. Is this CJ? Am I talking to CJ right now?
I know, right? What time
Wow.
do I have time to change my answer, Professor?
No, no, it's locked in 1 point. And you know what the fucked up part is? Um, I actually think with all the noise coming out, being like cities angry that the Premier League wasn't supporting them of changing the fixtures and blah 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 blah. It's like, why do you want to change the fixtures? Remember the stretch in February when we played we traveled. I think in 9 days we played six away games or something ridiculous.
Hmm.
Remember, we were like Premier League, Champions League, Premier League, Champions League, like we were just traveling.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
ask for any favors. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Um, Saying all that, I think City win, man. I think they win by one goal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, no, man. I kind of want to go back on my prediction, but whatever, man. It's out there. I'll just have to
Nah,
hold
it's
it.
all good. It's all good. Hey, you don't know what other predictions are coming in play, you know? Like just play with it, you know? Pause. Um
Yeah.
Brentford at home. This is 5 days later. Brentford, they're looking good. They're not losing a lot. They're drawing a lot of games.
Yeah. Although they did just lose to United at home. Um,
But they're
sorry,
fighting
they lost to
for
United away.
yeah, but they're hunting for a Champions League spot or a Conference League or Europa League. You know, like there's a lot of movement that can happen still, right? Because they're on 48 points.
Hmm.
Calvert-Lewin scored.
I know I'm pissed, bro. Um,
Oh shit.
I think City are going to beat Brentford at home. I think it's going to be by a I think it's going to be by a one goal margin.
Huh? So 3 points.
Yo, Leeds are more than safe, man.
Yeah.
This relegation battles between West Ham and Spurs.
Soon to be just Spurs. Um, Brentford at home. I think this is where the banana peel happens. I think it's a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think uh I think Brentford travel well and they've shown to play tough big opponents quite well. Yes, I know it was United, but also the way that that game was going, like, you know, they didn't really do anything.
Mm,
United just sat in. Um, and I think given some of the results that are going to happen throughout the league, coming up to that game, I think Brentford are going to know that if they keep going, they can actually play Europa League next
mm.
season, right? If they beat West Ham, they're going to be on 51 points, and then if they go into that game, depending on how the results go, they have a chance to secure up sixth spot, right? Or keep fighting for that, and I think that's going to matter. So I think that's going to be the slip for me. It might
Can
be
you do
more
me
slips. Hmm?
go on? No, go on.
No, no, I'll tell you the next slip that's gonna come, but
I think I know what you're gonna say, but before you do that, can you do me a favor? We're gonna have to go back. I actually agree. I think Everton are gonna lose. I think City's gonna beat them by one goal margin.
yeah,
Fuck's
okay.
sakes. Yeah, yeah. I'm going back to predicting with my head. Let me come down from this high. I think yeah, I think City's gonna win by one goal margin. Kind of what like Liverpool did when they went here recently in the Derby, where they won in the last minute with the Van Dijk header. I think it's literally going to be one of those. I think it could be level until the very last like minutes, and they're going to score between the 80th and the 90th minute City to get the winner by one goal
Yeah, but
margin.
I don't think that that's gonna do them any favors. I think in the long run, I think as we get closer into the final games, I think that's gonna weigh on them. I think
Yeah,
that's
you
gonna weigh
hope.
on them.
I hope.
Palace away. This was the game that was rescheduled, game in hand.
Now this is important because they
Selhurst.
flipped this. They flipped it. It was
Yes.
originally supposed to be Bournemouth here and then
Hmm.
Palace, but because of their involvement in the FA Cup final, that got reversed. They asked for that to be rearranged for an extra day's rest. Because I think, the Bournemouth game, I think it was played in closer proximity to the FA Cup final. Um, Either that or in either after the final, I think the Palace game came too soon. after the final. So either way, they flipped that they asked for that to be sort of switched around, so it gives them extra days recovery rest. Um, so I think that is very interesting in terms of the
Oh, it's
change of
Palace at
dynamics.
home. Palace at home.
It's
Sorry.
Palace at home, yeah,
Yeah, Palace at home.
yeah. So those two were flipped around. Bournemouth was supposed to be before the FA Cup final. So now that Bournemouth is after the FA Cup final, I mean that makes things a little bit interesting. So Palace at home, I think they beat Palace at home, yeah, and I think they beat them by I think they beat Palace at home by two clear goals.
Two clear goals, eh? Just
Yeah,
need to check something. Conference League schedule. When's the second leg? Second leg is the 7th. So from the second leg to this game, oh, they have a decent amount of rest. Um, 7th, and they don't play until the 13th. Oh no, they play the 10th and 13th. Oh wow. They play 7th, 10th, 13th Palace.
yeah,
Damn. Yeah, I think you said 2 goal margin?
two goal margin.
Yeah, unfortunately. And then they have a few days later they have the FA Cup final, and then they have Bournemouth. Bournemouth comes May 17th. FA Cup final. Let me just confirm the FA Cup final. Yeah. Wait, how does that work? They're playing May 16th. They're gonna play back-to-back days? That doesn't work.
No, no. So that Bournemouth game, I think that date
Oh, it's
is
on the
wrong.
19th. Sorry, that's it's
Yeah,
on the 19th.
yeah, yeah. So that might have
So
been my
2 days
bad.
rest. So 2 days rest. Um,
3 days.
3 days.
I mean, yeah, 2 full days, I
Well,
guess. Yeah,
two full days. Two
yeah.
full days. Um,
Oh, this is the one as well. It's this one and the Everton one for me, man, where I'm like, I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. They lose.
Oh, okay, put them in there.
They
What's the?
lose by one.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I think this is where it's over. I think this is where it's over. I think everyone's gonna be
Wow.
thinking, everyone who's listening, watching this, are gonna be like, how are you gonna say that they're gonna win the FA Cup because they're playing Chelsea? They're gonna be riding a high. 2 days. 2 days. 2 days in between these games. 2 days. Whereas Bournemouth, right? Again, context matters. Bournemouth is currently in seventh spot. They have an opportunity to maintain Conference League or Europa League spot, right?
Mhm.
Coming to that game, Bournemouth are going to be well rested. Bournemouth play May 9th. The next time Bournemouth touch a pitch is May 19th. They're going to have 10 days to prepare. 10 days.
Mm.
Like, that's a lot of time. That is a lot of time. And we saw what Bournemouth did to us, right? How much rest they had compared to how much rest we had. They ran us to the ground. And, some may say the Basque regions stick together. Wink, wink. Andoni Areola. Help a Basque brother out. Come on now.
Wow. If this were to happen, I'd be booking my tickets for London that same night. Um, I'd be over the moon with that. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. But I still have an ideal scenario because I do think that that game is going to be a draw. I would take that.
Eh?
I think that game is going to be a draw. I hope Bournemouth keeps up their good form going into that game. Because like you said, they have a lot of days rest and whatnot, but we'd have to check their fixtures in between now and then. But they've been in good form, right? So it would be typical for them to just all of a sudden drop form, a couple of bad results, a couple injuries going into that game against City.
So
Knock on wood.
this
Mm,
weekend they play Palace at home,
okay.
which Palace's focus is 100% on Conference League.
Yeah.
Then May 9th, the week before the City game, they play Fulham at Craven Cottage.
Mm,
Then they have 10 days
mm.
before the
Okay.
City game.
Okay. So yeah, I fancy them. Okay, draw. I'll stick with the draw.
Yeah. Last game of the season, Villa at home.
I personally think they win that.
How many goals?
And I think they win that. Unai Emery's gonna fucking bottle it. So I think they win that, and I think they win it by a 1 goal margin.
Well, I mean, Emery could be contending with a Europa League final.
Or he
So,
could not be. Fuck sakes. Like Forrest, I know they can turn it around, but Forrest won the first leg.
but did you see that tackle on Elliot Anderson on Ollie Watkins?
I didn't even see the highlights now.
How that was not a red card, I fully agree with Unai.
Yeah, I
But
heard.
by
I
the way,
heard.
I also agree. I think this is a 3 points.
What's the margin?
Let's see, 3, 6,
No, like what do
9,
you think the margin is for in the Villa game? Like how many do you think they'll win by?
1.
By one. Okay.
13 points. 1, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Yikes. 3, 4, 7, 10. 10 points. 1, 0, 2 plus 3. Okay. So you have 13 points for City plus 5, which would bring them to 83 points level with us.
But they
And
win the league on goal difference, right?
plus 5,
And I had +4, right? I think.
plus 5 would be 42. It would be tied. It'd be exactly tied, 83 and 42. So it'd come down to who has more goals.
Thanks.
And as it currently stands, yeah, they would win on goals for.
That would
Based off
fucking
your based on your prediction, yeah. Based on your prediction, it'd be yeah, 83.
that would finish me, bro. Honestly, that would fucking floor me.
Yeah, or two
Wow.
differential.
Can you
For
imagine?
me, they would be 80 points and 40. So for me, Arsenal outright win.
So you have them dropping points in 2 games, right?
Brentford at home, yeah.
And then you
And
said Bournemouth at home.
Bournemouth, they lose. They don't get any points there. Even if they don't get any points against Bournemouth, like, you know,
Mm, wow. Well, that is a mad end to the season. Either way, like, again, there's still so many other twists and turns. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be interesting to know what's gonna happen starting tomorrow. Like I said, if this all goes tits up tomorrow, then fucking just scrap this video. We'll just pretend like it never happened. We'll just delete it
yeah,
off
like
YouTube.
if we don't take the thing is, if we take care of business tomorrow, that and the one part that we're not equating is yes, we both said we yeah, we both said we both said Everton's gonna lose, but who knows?
No, definitely. That one could
Everton
definitely
is
easily get
Monday
dropped.
night.
Yeah.
Like Monday night fixtures have been crazy. Who knows,
And it all
right?
depends as well, like you said, on what happens tomorrow. If we apply that scoreboard pressure on them and we're 6 points clear before they go into that game, that's pressure regardless, right?
And Everton is fighting for European spots.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
on 47 points. Like if they get 3 points and they're sitting on 50 points, the next 3 games for them is gonna matter,
Yeah.
right? So there's still a lot of context. There's a lot to play for, and I think there's a lot of movement. Personally, though, I personally think if we can keep the goal differential up plus 1, we win, even if it's tied. If the goal differential is the same, we're fucked because I do not think that we score more goals than City.
Hmm.
I think we let in less goals. I think we win more 1-0 games, but I think they win maybe a 3-2. Sorry, a 3-1. I think they may have more 3-1 games than we do. I think we'll have more 1-0, maybe 1-2-0. The Burnley game 100%, I think it's going to be 3-0. So like I just give them more of the firepower. But yeah, I'm gonna stand by my preseason prediction. I think Arsenal do win the league, and as much as Laurent hates to hear it, I genuinely do believe if we get to the final, even though we just saw what PSG and Bayern did, we will win the Champions League. Hand on God, you know, you can clip me. I think we win. After all the shit that we've been through this entire season, and we're where we are, all the shit that we went through, all those years being Banter FC, finishing eighth, asking for Arteta to be sacked when we were in the relegation zone, and he kept fighting. We had those heartbreaks against Spurs in the Antonio Conte day. Remember that day? Remember that day? The Rob
Hmm.
Holding tackle?
Yep.
I turned it off right away. As soon as Rob Holding made that tackle, I'm like, why are you getting involved? Like you do not have pace. You barely have a fucking hairline because you went to Turkey. Like, come on now. And you're going after Son? Come on. Like you're a great servant to the club. Don't be stupid, right? I think the way that we win this game against Atletico is gonna make us kick on. It's gonna be a scrappy game against Fulham. Don't get it twisted. A London derby. The Arsenal boys, as much as they want us to win, I think they're gonna give us a good fight. I think they're gonna give us a good fight. And you know, Bernd Leno always loves playing against us. But once we win that game against Atletico, we're gonna kick on from there. Yes, it's gonna take a lot out of us. You are absolutely right. Laurent is absolutely right. It's gonna take a lot out of us. But what it's also going to do is the fact that these players are gonna get to their first Champions League final. That's the high that they're gonna be on. And you know Arteta from watching Netflix FC, which Patrice Everluck's always say, FC, the next season's better. Well, you know what, Patrice? This season's fucking better. This season is better. You know? You have your own captain, Roy Keane, saying that he still backs Arsenal to win. Why? Because we are the best team. Period. Hard stop. We are the best team in the Premier League. We spent $1 billion. Man City spent $1 billion in two transfer windows almost. That's what we're competing against. That's why Jurgen Klopp left. So tomorrow it starts 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Arsenal's going to start. We're going to kick on. The fans are going to be behind us and we're going to fucking get it done. If you're a betting man, put Arsenal money line, Gyökeres to score, and Eberici Eze to score or assist. Book it. I don't know what the odds are, but I promise you, if you put $10, you're gonna make a pretty coin. Hashtag we don't sponsor gambling, but just come on, come on, man, come on. See, this is what we've been asking for. If you and I were messaging 5 years ago during COVID, we're like, fuck, we're like, you saw me on AFTV, we're watching all that shitty games where, like there's no fans. And I would have told you 5 years later, we're going to be sitting on the pod. Well, first of all, we're going to have a podcast. Second of all, we're going to be sitting here, 3 games left, and we have an opportunity to win our first ever Champions League and our first Premier League since '04. You would have laughed in my face. That's the position we're in. That is the fucking position we are in. And as much as Arteta's grinding my gears this year, I've tried to back him, but no more. Get it done. Get it done. Sorry, I'll stop. HR's calling. I'll stop.
Jeez, I can't even come back in on that. You heard it here first, folks. I think you ended that off on a banger and just, give that little bit of positive energy. You should be a public speaker, man, because yeah, that energy that you give, the Arsenal fans and myself, need to hear it, just for something to be positive about, right? A little bit of a boost, a little bit of a mental and psychological boost, a little bit of confidence, Arteta should really get you in the dressing room and get you speaking to the boys ahead of our games from here on out because man, yeah, this is the kind of energy we need, man. We really do. And you're very close to your predictions coming true, man. You said at the beginning of the season that Arsenal would win the Premier League and Arsenal would win the Champions League. So therefore, I said to you, well, so you think we're going to do a double? And you said yes. And now we're 4 games away from a Premier League crown, and we are 1.5 games away from a Champions League final, or 2 games away, I guess, from the Champions League from winning it. So it's actually your prediction, as crazy as it sounded at the beginning of the season, is actually very close. So that's it's crazy to hear, So we'll revisit it at the end of the season. We will be here, but we're actually close to doing it. Now it's on the players, right? How much do you guys want it? How much do you want it as a team, as a club? How much do you want it, Arteta? Get these guys over the line, work your magic, do what you got to do. You've been here 6, 7 years. You got the investment. Time is now. We'd be happy with one of these, but both we'd be over the moon. We'd be ecstatic. You wouldn't hear
At
the
you.
end of it.
At you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he for sure he would deserve it if he won both. Listen, we're not, I'm not going to get too carried away, but you said everything already, and I think it's pretty spot on. It's on us now to get the job done. So back the boys. Come on, you Gunners. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've made it this far, thank you for listening. I hope you had a little bit of fun listening to us sort of go through the how the rest of the season is going to play out. Hopefully, Murdad is right and I'm wrong, and we're all happy here in May. Drinking some champagne and rival fans' tears. Um, fingers crossed, right? So listen, like and subscribe and all that other good stuff. We will be here as we always say, the content is frequent, the energy is high, the vibes are good. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Before I sign out or anything, Murda, do you have anything you want to add? Or you said it all?
Come on, you Gunners!
All right, say no more. We'll see you then, folks.
Adios.